Hello and welcome to Alien Perspective. Today we're going to cover a really difficult story that happened in my hometown. It is the police killing of Mario Gonzalez. Now, if you're from Alameda, as I am, but you're new to the story, don't know anything about it, I will catch you up. And if you're from Alameda and you're intricately aware of this story, and you've been one of the people that's been out there in the streets, I'm going to cover this story from an angle that, flat out, I have not seen covered anywhere else. And if you're not from Alameda, this is the kind of story that could happen in your town. Alameda is a sleepy little suburb outside of San Francisco that has just the tiniest amount of crime. And yet this happened. On April 19th, 26-year-old Mario Gonzalez died in the custody of Alameda police. Mario leaves behind his 4-year-old son and was the primary caregiver for his autistic brother. The family set up a GoFundMe for legal expenses, temporary care for Mario's autistic brother, and a college fund for Mario's son. My original vision for this video was going to be that I was going to show the body cam footage and I was going to basically comment over it and point out every way that I thought the situation was messed up, but I don't want to have to keep editing it. I watched it when I first caught wind of the story. I watched it again live on camera to give my reaction. I had to record it, and I've had to watch it multiple times while editing, and I can't look at it anymore. I can't watch that guy get tackled again. I can't watch the police take Mario's breath away one more time. So if you want to watch it, I will link to the 8+ relevant minutes that I found some other local media put together. But if you haven't seen the body cam footage, I'll summarize it like this. The police officers come over to Mario. He looked a little delirious. The officers then, for no real good reason, just grab him and start arresting him. And Mario's clearly struggling. He doesn't seem to fully know what's going on. And instead of taking this guy, recognizing that maybe he's having some sort of medical problem, and taking him to the hospital that's literally 2 blocks away, they start to put his hands behind his back, and he doesn't know what's happening. And then without any reasonable provocation, the officers bring him to the ground, and somehow in the midst of the Derek Chauvin trial, they put their knee on this guy's back and suffocate him. And they're on him for multiple minutes, and somehow nobody says, hey, get off this guy. You know, the point of this video and the point of my whole channel is to give you my perspective, which I hope is a different perspective. And when I was watching the body cam footage, I felt like I gave the kind of reaction that any normal, reasonable, decent, empathetic person would give. You know, my journalism school education would have taught me to be detached, and I can't be detached after I saw what I saw. So the rest of this video is going to be, will we get justice? Who's doing the investigation? Can we trust it? And what can we do as citizens to make sure that this kind of a thing doesn't happen again? So this is going to be investigated by the Alameda County Sheriff, the District Attorney's Office, and a former city attorney from San Francisco to be independent. The fact that the sheriff is involved is very concerning. This guy is an out right-wing Republican, full-blown Trump supporter. Even in a county that incorporates Oakland and our progressive little Alameda, we have a right-wing authoritarian sheriff. I do not trust. I don't think anyone that knows who the sheriff is trusts that this guy is going to do any sense of justice in an investigation like this. Let me try to make it more obvious. We don't trust that this guy is going to properly investigate the police killing of a brown man. Then you get to the district attorney, Nancy O'Malley. O'Malley received a $10,000 contribution last year from the Fremont Police Officers Association while the police union's president was under investigation by the district attorney's office for his part in the shooting of a 16-year-old pregnant girl in Hayward. I feel like that's not exactly a DA we can trust. We saw the effect of when Keith Ellison and the Minnesota State Attorney General Office took over the prosecution of Derek Chauvin. The new Attorney General, his name is Rob Bonta. He was our Assembly District member here in Alameda. He was our representative in Alameda. And so we need him to step up and do this investigation. Something I really want to emphasize with my channel, which is, as important as elections are, Just voting is not enough. We elected a progressive city council, and yet they did not put in the safety measures in place to stop a situation like this from happening. In Oakland, they have this program where if somebody's having some sort of mental health crisis or is just disoriented, a trained social service worker will come and work with the person. People in Alameda have this superiority complex, we're not like Oakland, we're so much better. And yet Alameda doesn't have that kind of a humane policy. Why are police responding to this? All of the positive gains that we've made as a town, whether it be increasing the minimum wage or the renter protections or the rent control, those all came about not because people voted for progressives to be on the city council. It's because activists came out and pressured government officials to do the right thing. And that's what we need to do. Just voting is not going to put the measures in place so that this kind of a thing does not happen again, so that there is not another Mario Gonzalez. There's social media called Youth Activists of Alameda. I'm going to drop whatever links that there are and any sort of visual. Keep up with them. They have all the demonstrations, any sort of march. Go to one of those. Just showing up in mass, that will get the city council to go, oh, boy, we better respond to this. This is really important. Make this important. I really deep down feel like we all have to do something. And I feel like if we don't do something, then we're saying that this is okay. And this is not okay. I think about all the YouTube things I'm supposed to say, like and subscribe, but honestly, what matters is people need to know this. Anyone you know in our town, send this to them. People need this information. I do the news. I read the news. I consume so much news, and I did not know about this story the day that it came out. So how many other people don't know about this? So please show this video to people, text it, share it on social media. We need to get the word out as much as possible, because the more people see this, I'm hoping the more people will wind up going to those Youth Activists of Alameda pages and showing up at a rally.